If you are dating with the intentions of being serious with somebody, you need to ask them this one question because it's going to give you so much insight on what type of person this really is. When you ask this question, they won't even be knowing what you're really asking them, and they won't even know what they're really telling you. Free game. Ask this person, hypothetically, if you had a child and you were not able to see that child, would you still feel that you need to financially contribute to this child? Depending on how this person answers this question, you will know if you really want to continue dealing with this person. If this person answers with no, they should not have to contribute to the child if they don't see them. You need to understand that this person, 9 times out of 10, only do what's right when it's convenient for them. They don't do what's right just because it's right. They only do what's right when it benefits them or it's in alignment with what they want to do. This person does not have a strong sense of duty and responsibility. This person only wants to fulfill their duties and responsibilities if it is in benefit of them or if it is in alignment with what they want to control. This person, if they answer no, 9 times out of 10 is a very selfish person. And unless you're into selfish people, you don't want to date somebody that is selfish. You don't want to date somebody that only does what's right when it is in benefit to them. You want somebody to do what's right no matter what because they stand on their moral integrity. So depending on how this person answers this question, it will let you know if you need to continue dating them or continue doing whatever you're doing with them. They won't even be realizing what insight they're giving you when they answer this question. Y'all be well. If you are dating with the intentions of being serious with
Okay. All right. So we have this lady here, and she's suggesting to her audience that you're taking a guy seriously. You should ask him a serious question, and just to see where his head at, right? So the serious question that she's posing for today on this post is to ask the man if he would pay for child support even if the woman was keeping the children away from you. Okay? Very serious question. She calls you selfish, says that you don't have a strong sense of duty or responsibility. She wants you to do what's right, basically. If you say no, then you're selfish and you lack a sense of duty and responsibility. Okay. Well, how about the woman that's keeping the kids away from the man? She doing what's right by him? Me personally, I would have to pay by law, you know. But I can see why a man might say no to that setup. Okay? Because he has to pay a woman that he hates for kids that he can't see. And there's a high chance that the money's just funding her lifestyle. It's a very tough pill to swallow, you know? You ask a lady, would she do it? And I'm pretty sure she's gonna say hell no to that, right? She can't see the kids, she funding your lifestyle. She's gonna say no. Or she's gonna be kicking and screaming about it, you know what I mean? Ladies, you gotta be careful asking these questions, okay? Because two things could happen. Either you're not gonna like the answer he gives you, or he might end up thinking that you're the kind of lady that you're describing in the scenario, right? So be careful. All right, let's take a look at the comments. You ladies need to also allow space and time to let something grow into something serious. Do not be overwhelming with your seriousness on date one. Shaking my head. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's you might scare a man off by doing something like that. It's just not necessary. Just take it slow. Y'all will lose some good man with stupid questions like this, to be honest. Jeez. A lot of guys in the comment section very surprised on TikTok. How many women are gonna pay for a child they do not see? The answer is not many at all. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. You take away a woman's child and she's going crazy, and on top of that, when she goes crazy, you think she's gonna pay you afterwards? No, she's gonna kick and scream about that. That's for sure. On to the next.
Why do conservative men always try and date liberal women? A girl posted a video on TikTok about going on a first date with this guy, and on the first date, he told her that he lied about who he voted for in order to get her to go on the date with him. Because had he told her that he voted for Trump, he knew that she would never agree to go on this date. And so my question is, why is this such a common occurrence that conservative men will ask out or deliberately seek liberal, democratic women, knowing that we fundamentally disagree on just about all of the potential topics that we could even discuss? So I guess I'm just wondering, why not go for conservative women that you know are morally and just aligned with you religiously, politically, morally, whatever? Why not go for those type of women? Why go for the women that you know don't want anything to do with you? Just a thought. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you have thoughts on that, if anyone else has noticed it, because I definitely have. Why do conservative men?
Well, it's actually quite simple, you know. As much as we don't like liberal women and what they stand for, pretty much, some of them are hot, and there's not enough conservative women to go around. Most of these conservative women that we do want are already taken because they're good conservative women, right? So when a man sees a woman for the first time, he's not thinking with his big brain, he's thinking with the other brain. Okay, and if he sees what he likes, he makes the move. And 99% of the time, we don't know if you're liberal or conservative. So, hey, right? So at this point, we just have to make a choice. Either we pump or dump, or we try to rescue you. A conservative man sees a liberal woman as someone that needs rescuing. Say that you hate men and that you've been told lies your whole life, and we feel sorry for you. As much as you guys think that we're monsters or Nazis, we generally don't hate you guys. Okay? Some of us like projects, and some of y'all can be saved. Okay? All right, let's take a look at the comments. Have you seen conservative women? Have you seen liberal women? A lot of times they have the blue hair, purple hair, red hair with the piercings and the tattoos, overweight. She shouldn't be one to talk. Okay. I saw a post from a man saying that liberal women treat them better. Liberal women treat them better. No, I would have to disagree. Liberal women tend to see men as oppressors, so I would say it'd probably be harder for them to be nurturing towards a man. They acknowledge their emotions and treat them like more than a paycheck. When conservative women want to stay at home, expect him to be strong all the time and doesn't work, so she needs his money. So they want the benefits of feminism and the treatment from feminist women while shitting on liberal feminist women. Well, the whole treat them like more than a paycheck. Liberal women want to be taken care of too. Black, white, any race. They want to live the soft life. So that's not a conservative only thing. When a woman divorces you, liberal, conservative, she wants half your money. She wants half your stuff. So we're not escaping that from that money aspect if you're with a liberal or a conservative woman. So I have to disagree there also. And the expectation of being strong, well, that's also a liberal and conservative women thing. No woman wants her man to be a soft pushover. They all want strong men that can protect and provide. So on to the next.
Here are my theories on why men do not go to singles events. I'm going to give you a breakdown of 4 different pools or categories that they all fall in, and I'll just kind of go into detail about why they're in this category.
Okay.
So one of my mutuals said that she went to a singles event recently and she noticed that a lot of men don't show up to them, and just that the ratio of men to women is off by a lot. So category number 1 is the men who do not need to be there. So I call these the all-around great men. So the all-around great man consists of good character, emotional availability, emotionally in tune, career-oriented, family-oriented, monogamous, just all around a kind, caring, good man.
Yeah, and this all around good man, most likely at this time of his life, has already found a good woman, or he's just building his life, building his career, building his finances, and he's not pressed for women at the moment. So the speed dating events wouldn't be on his list of to do at the moment.
So that pool of man does not need to go to singles events. They don't need to be on dating apps because their energy and everything about them is just going to exude out in the world, and they're going to attract women everywhere they go. So this means like at work, if they're at the gym, if they're at a sporting event, like if they play on a rec league, women are just going to gravitate towards them because they can feel the energy, they can feel that he's a good guy, and they're going to want to date him. So those men, they're not going to be on dating apps. They're not going to be at singles events because they just do not need to. They're going to find their women in everyday life. Number 2 is the bachelor for life. So the bachelor for life obviously does not need to go to a singles event because he is not looking for a relationship. This is the situationship type of guy. This is the guy that is constantly going through the cycle of talking stage, first date, situationship, talking stage.
And this is the type of guy that these women tend to encounter more often than not, excluding the events there. They find them on Twitter, they'll find them on Instagram, or maybe they know them from the past. But these type of men are the guys that they usually get with. He, somewhat average, but he has above average skills. Maybe it's in the looks, maybe his charisma, his charm, the way he talks. He's good with women. So he's not looking to settle down, right?
First date, situationship. And it just is a continuous circle because they're not looking for a relationship. And the reason these men are so successful at the situationship or bachelor for life lifestyle is because they lead with, I could possibly get into a relationship with you, but their intention is to never actually be in a relationship. So they keep women hanging on just by a little bit. Like they throw crumbs enough for the woman to think that one day he'll come around. These men are also single for life because they have this idea of a perfect woman in their head that doesn't exist. So from all of the women that they've dated, they take little pieces of their personality that they would want in their ideal woman. But because the ideal woman doesn't exist, they'll never find her. So they just constantly go from woman to woman, hoping to find the perfect woman, to find a woman to fit in that box.
No, he's not hopping around looking for the perfect woman because we know that does not exist. He's just having his good time. He's a playboy. Why would he settle down when he's getting to do what he wants? It's not about tricking women really or finding the great woman. He's just having fun.
That they've created, but it just does not exist. So they just repeat the cycle of first dates, talking stage, situationship, friends with benefits, and no woman is ever good enough to give commitment to or be in a relationship with. So these men are not going to be at singles events because they a lot of times are in friend groups that are co-ed friend groups where the lines are blurred between romantic and friendship. So the friend groups are very like flirtatious. You're not sure if like his girl best friend is actually his best friend and things like that. So the third pool of guys are the guys who have a fear of rejection. So a lot of men can have fear.
Everybody has a level of fear of rejection. It's not a specific type of guy. Even the guys that are good with girls, they have this level of fear.
rejection for many different things, but I'll give you the top 2 in my book. Again, all of these are just my opinion. So number 1 would be the man who's never approached a woman a day in his life. And because he's never done that, the fear of rejection has grown and grown and grown as the years have gone by. So this means like middle school, high school, college, and adult life, he's never approached a woman. So because he's gone so long inflating this idea of what rejection will be like, the fear of rejection has become so big that it trumps him ever approaching a woman.
Let's be honest. Even if he went to the speed dating or the dating events, would you ladies even want him? Let's be honest.
And it's interesting because women are socialized to let men down kindly because, for one, we're scared of being, you know what, if we say no. And number 2, we're also just socialized to be kind or to be nice even when we're uncomfortable and we don't want to be kind and nice. So that fear of rejection is just irrational in my opinion, because most women do let men down kindly.
You see what she just said? She still wants these scared guys to come because at least they'll give them attention so that they can reject them nicely. Even these men serve a purpose.
And I'm not going to say there aren't women who can be mean when they let them down, but I do believe that it's warranted because we have evidence of women literally being unalived just by telling a man no. So there are men who just
That rarely happens.
have that fear of rejection and would never put themselves in a place to be rejected. Another man that would be in the pool of the fear of rejection is a man who has been rejected a lot in his life and he's just over that. So because he's been rejected so much and he's trying to avoid further rejection, he's not going to put himself in a situation where there is ample room for rejection, like something like a singles dating event. The last pool of men are the men whose egos will not allow them to be at something like a dating event. It could be because they think they're too good for it, or because they just don't want to be seen asking for help. To conclude all of that,
There's a big portion of men that don't want to go to these events because it seems quite embarrassing, Imagine running into somebody that it just seems a bit desperate and corny. So we don't flock to things like that. We have other things that we could be doing with our time. So we rather not, Take a look at the comment section. It's not heavily marketed to men. Well, it's not, but we do know about these things. We just don't want to go. I agree with most of your takes, but the rejection ones were a bit off. Well, it didn't make any sense from a man's perspective because these women would not choose these men anyways. But they want them there. So they have more eyeballs on them for just attention alone, because attention is currency to them, When they go, they do not approach. I think all these events just feed their egos at this point. Well, that could be true because usually these speed dating events, the ratio is maybe 30 or maybe, sorry, not that crazy, but 15 to 1, 15 women to 1 man. So you do feel like the prize if you're there, and depending on the night and the attitude of the women, you might feel like a king, So you could be onto something there. On to the next.
Manifest my own destiny. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, the perfect recipe. May they remember me, my words will live on. I'm guided by an energy, a flame, hold it close to you. Check out my melodies in the media that's been leading you. I'll show you a thing. Misdirection was the message, they don't want you to win.